Up, everybody? We are live again today. Today, joined by Bobby from Dupe, a company that has started on the Web2 side of things and found its way into crypto with launching its own token. Fascinating story, a fascinating guy. I think there's a lot to learn from how you guys have gotten from your original idea, your original company to where you are today. Bobby, so glad to have you. How are you doing?
Sorry, I'm just like retweeting your stream. Sorry, did you ask a question? I was like literally going between my accounts and retweeting. Let's get some action in this room.
Let's do it.
How am I doing?
Yeah,
Let's go, baby. I'm good. I'm good.
it's
Doing good.
it's great. We've had on a lot of companies that are doing things in the AI space the last few days. ICM, Launchcoin. Uh, you have a token. You're competing in the same sector. What should people know about Dupe from a 4,000 foot view up? Like what does Dupe do?
Dupe is the front door for deals on the internet. So if you're trying to buy a product and you want to find it or something like it for less, you should go to dupe.com. You can paste a URL. You can append any product URL with dupe.com/ in front of it. You can upload an image to Dupe. So in that sense, it's similar to Google Images, but our superpower is finding you similar products for less, without all the spam and without all the fake sites. So we do a lot of curating of that of our results on that front. Broadly, like, we are a generative marketplace. You tell us what you want to buy, we generate a marketplace on the fly. We give you a whole bunch of options. A lot of people dupe down, so they start with an expensive product and they want to find a lower cost alternative. About 20-25% of our users dupe up. They start with a cheaper product and they want to actually find a nicer version of that product, right? So and that's kind of ultimately the superpower of Dupe, is we give consumers optionality when they go shopping online. And for brands, these brands, like, many of them carry millions of products, believe it or not. And if you shop at a brand and you don't know if they carry the product that you want, well, we'll merchandise that brand live right there, so that a consumer who has high intent and is actually like actively shopping can see the product that you sell that's very similar to the thing that they want, and it's cost less. Well, that's a whole lot better than some CPC on a display ad somewhere. So that's the bet that we're making. Everyone sort of wins in this ecosystem.
And you guys started off as a company called Carrot, correct? That was still dealing in the world of shopping, and you found that
Yep.
you had kind of like a breakout moment around,
Yep. Yep.
hey,
Yep.
people want to find similar products to one they might have found for cheaper, different price, similar
Yep.
style.
Yeah, so Carrot started in 21. So the breakthrough that we did on Carrot, which was actually like a really freaking cool product, but just didn't solve a big enough consumer problem. And I really should have seen that faster. I'm upset with myself still that I wasn't able to grasp that, because I was clenching onto this idea. But the idea was, we just thought that carts on the internet were sitting at the wrong level. Like, they were sitting on websites, and no one shops on a single website. Like,
Right.
when people shop, they are looking at many different sites, right? And they're adding stuff to cart across the board. And like, if you rebuilt a browser from scratch, the cart would be in the browser. And so we figured out how to unlock carts from the website and put it into the browser, so that we collect all of that consumer shopping intent, all of their carts in one place, and then help them either check out or go back and like filter the products that they want in one place. That then turned into, so the technical breakthrough was pretty awesome. Then the product just like Frankensteined into so many different things. Like, it was a wish list. We had collections, we had shopping with your friends, we had Dupe actually was a feature called Deal Hop inside of that product. So it did many things, and it just turned out that it was like too hard to market. It's so hard to, unless you're spending tens of millions of dollars, it's very hard to break through to the end consumer as to like what the actual problem is that you solve for them. So we ended up killing the product on account of that. Actually,
do you think that's a mistake many founders make, is going too
every
wide?
founder makes it. This is like par for the course. Every founder will overcommit. This is actually, you should just go in and expect that at some point you're going to face the monster in the mirror, and then you're going to be like, oh, duh, why did I do that? That's like, doesn't make any sense. And then the second go around, you would expect that you're not going to make that mistake again, and you will make that mistake again. This is par for the course of building startups. Is the whole persona type of a founder that builds a company is they have so many ideas, and they have this superpower that they actually know how to execute it, that they will. And that's like typically not the thing you want to do. So
right. And so out of this product that had all these different features, Dupe starts getting used. You notice that, okay, this is our breakout feature. And then you do something that I think a lot of founders, and especially in crypto, people stray away from, which is this heavy pivot, and basically killing off the rest of the company and say, hey, this one piece is what we're going to go after.
Yeah. So actually, a lot of credit to Nikita Beer. We worked with him on this. So we were like literally on our last leg. Okay, and this was in 2024. And interestingly, that was also on the back of we received our first acquisition offer on our last leg that we decided not to take. This was a very pivotal decision in the history of our company.
And why the no there?
It didn't feel right. So the deal was structured a certain way where, like, actually, I can't get into the details because if it even leaks who it was, it's a company that everyone knows, but I can't get into it. We didn't like the deal. Okay. Like we thought it was going to be one thing. It was basically that thing, but they finagled some stuff that we just didn't agree with. And we were just like, this feels wrong. And Ramin, my co-founder, and I, we were literally on a FaceTime looking at this like letter that was sent to us saying like, hey, we're ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the terms, da, da, da. And we were sipping wine. It was just like his wife and him, my wife and me. And we were just like sitting, and we literally we just like turned to our wives and we're like, should we just do it? And our wife, like literally, like both of them together looked at us. They were like, you guys would not be happy with any of this. Like none of this makes sense. You should not take this. And we're like, yeah, but we're going to die. Like, we have 3 months of runway left. We don't really have options. And they were like, yeah, but you can always try another thing. And that gave us the fact that they were on board. I felt a lot more on board and confident, saying, like that was I will say in the history of our company, that was a really tough decision because it was a really good outcome for us, the employees anyway. And in that moment, I was like, who do I know that's like really good at breaking the internet? Because that's what we're going to need. And we reached out to Nikita Beer, and his assignment was super simple. Use Carrot. Tell us if there's anything redeemable in this product. We don't know if there is anymore. Our churn numbers don't make sense. Our revenue is negligible. Like none of this shit makes sense. And then he spent about a week and he came back to us and he was like, you have this one feature that's very interesting. And I have some thoughts about this feature. And then we just spent like 2 months rebuilding DealHop. It was the DealHop feature. We rebuilt it. And on the back of us, as like a preamble to us launching it, I was just like, man, if we want this to work, if we really want this to work, we need to throw a Hail Mary. Let's just burn all of our cash. Let's get an insanely great domain. And I did a Google Trend search on the word dupe, and I saw that it was like a freaking skyrocketing chart. Like it was a hockey stick chart for the word dupe. And I was like, all right, we're going to buy dupe.com. I brokered it. I got it. I got the deal done. It surprised everyone. Even our investors till today have not asked us how much we've spent on it. Believe it or not. Like we don't talk about it.
You haven't told anybody how much you spent.
No, we don't talk about it. And so, yeah, we just don't talk about it. And then we put it live, and Nikita was extremely generous to us. He, out of his own volition, said, I want to tweet about this. I think this is a really cool product. I think people will really love it. And he gave us that first dose of, instant virality. My phone was just rocketing off the hook with tweets about the product. And of course it died down within like 2 days, it died down. And I was like, all right, now we've got to figure out how to make this thing work. And then we did a whole bunch of magic to get it to go from there.
I think a lot of people right now who are founding companies, especially with tokens, are getting that initial like spike up. They're getting that like, boom, okay, I have all this flash in the pan moment.
Yeah.
For you guys, you took some time, I think it sounds like, to kind of figure out what that next step forward was. Yeah. Is there something you should have been doing during that like flash in the pot to like better propel the company? I'm curious if there's
So first of all, like, for example, we had a second flash in the pot like a month and a half after we launched, where I want to say it was the producer of the Today Show was getting a haircut or something, and her hairdresser told her about Dupe, and she was moving, and she used it, and she saved a lot of money, and she reached out to us on Instagram, and she's like, "Hey, I know this is crazy, but every mom in America needs to know about Dupe, because I used it. It's awesome. We want to talk about it on the Today Show." Again, I mean, obviously, you wait years.
I mean, yeah, that's a massive
You wait
moment.
years for primetime morning movie TV shows to call you. Okay, this just doesn't happen. You can't even really hire a PR firm to do it. You can't pay yourself into it. It's really hard to get on these shows. We had a huge spike in traffic, and it crashed down from there. So I would say, to go back to your question, assume that if your product is good, it's going to have a sugar spike. Assume it will die out very quickly. Assume that that has not unlocked anything for you beyond some brand recognition, some level, a teeny bit of brand recall. The difference between the Today Show TV spike and the Nikita Beard spike was Nikita is highly concentrated. His audience is in tech. So within 24 hours, pretty much everyone that mattered in tech knew that Dupe existed. Okay. So that concentration is very potent, but it doesn't give you the numbers on the back end. It just gives you that brand recall. What the Today Show did is it gave us a more broad recognition of the brand name that we could then, you use in our marketing and say we were on the Today Show and blah, 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 like all that stuff. But all of that hard work happens like before and after the sugar spike. And a lot of that hard work comes down to finding founder channel product fit. So for example, I tried for a long time to crack Twitter. I just couldn't crack it because Dupe was a visual tool. I needed to show it, right? It was shopping. It was like a shopping tool. Moms don't live on Twitter.
Right. They do not.
So the product channel fit was TikTok and Instagram. So we spent all of our time unlocking formats, and we invented the Post-it note format that has been copied millions of times successfully at this point. I take credit. I take full credit for this, because for the longest time, our entire marketing budget, because remember, we had no money. Our entire marketing budget was literally me going to Walmart and buying, Post-it notes, which I still have with me, and a Sharpie. And like, that was my whole marketing budget. So that's the kind of shit you have to do if you're a founder. You just gotta you got to hustle. And we didn't land on the Post-it note, immediately. It took a little bit of time to get there, but that's the kind of shit you have to do. So if you're getting a sugar high from your spike, like you're in for some like really big trouble the next day, because it's all going to go away. It's very fleeting.
Yeah. You kind of have to be almost monotone, I feel like, is what most founders say.
That is a perfect word. Yes. Don't fucking pay attention to that. Be monotone. All right. Move on. It's laser focus, blinders on. You have not won anything. You have not won the internet. This is all going to go away, and it's going to feel really bad if you over index on that.
I love that. A moment where it might have been hard to be monotone is you browsing Twitter. You see that people are tweeting about these tokens. You reply, and it seems like out of curiosity of what was happening with the ICO market and Launchcoin, you ended up launching Dupe completely by accident, is what it sounds
Total
like.
Accident.
To which I feel like you were propelled directly into the lion's den of crypto immediately as a Web2 founder. Walk me through what
got my ass handed to me. Got my ass handed to me in that first week. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't tweet the right things. I didn't say the right words. I was saying shit like, we don't own any of this coin. This is for the community. And people were like, oh, you're a fucking scam artist. Like, what do you mean? Like, why are you saying that, you idiot? I was like, no, that means you're not going to get rugged. This is good. This is a good thing. Like, that's how Fartcoin grew, right? Like, no one really owns it. Like, everyone owns it. It's for the community. So it took me a minute. I leaned pretty heavily on the Believe team, their investors, and a lot of reading and kind of studying on the market, on how to approach the market. But we were getting kicked up the ass, and like regularly. We crashed 90%, I think, twice. And it, like, again, it just doesn't, it is what it is. That is the market you're in, right? And so I think, like, I'm certain that most of the coins on the Believe ecosystem are not people from crypto, and we all got our ass handed to us in the same exact way. So I don't think my story is idiosyncratic in any way. I think the difference is what happens next. How do you approach it? Right. And for us, it was intense curiosity, intense engagement online, responding to people, asking questions. How would you do this? We asked our community, would you burn, like, we have all these tokens, would you burn it? Would you accumulate, or would you, like, I don't know, stake it or something? And they gave us guidance. So we maintained like pretty rigid, like absolute curiosity, and we continue to every day. And that's like really probably what's like saved us.
You guys are crushing it as one of the higher market cap coins that came out of that initial class with Launchcoin. You're currently seeing, I think, like 17 million. You guys did something that I think is noteworthy, which is how you've positioned what Dupe is, where you guys are, again, I have to hammer this home, a Web 2 company. Your primary demo is, I assume, 24 to 35
moms and girlfriends. Moms and girlfriends. That's it. That's the primary demo.
They know not a thing about crypto, generally speaking. You guys don't call it crypto. You don't put it, yes, there's a dollar sign in front of Dupe on the site, but you call it points. You've positioned it as a loyalty program. Walk me through how the Dupe token is positioned and how you guys are thinking long term with it.
Yeah, we did like a V1 tokenomics that I thought was pretty good. The community thought was really good. We got a lot of really good feedback on it. But the more I spent time on it, the bigger question in my mind was, how do you bridge these worlds? Like, how do you get, a mom in Louisiana or whatever, or like Texas or California, whatever, to like care about crypto? And the answer is you don't. You don't. You use the language that they understand, and the language that they understand is points. Because when you shop online, points are everywhere. You get cashback points, you get discount points, you get reward points, you get, and everyone plays games, and we know how XP points work in games, right? So like, that is the language, and that is a vocabulary that people like normies understand. By the way, I'm like, I would put myself in like Web2 retard camp. Like I'm not in crypto myself, right? So like if some app told me about, oh, you can get crypto points or whatever, I would not care. And it wouldn't push the needle for me. But if it says, hey, you're using this app anyway, you're earning points that are redeemable for cash, or redeemable for a gift card, or redeemable, for a discount. Okay, that sparks my attention a little bit more. So we have to kind of fine tune how we're talking about it. It's now on our site. Like, people redeem points all the time. They're earning points every day, and like, and we're buying back from the market to accommodate those points. But we don't talk to mere mortals about crypto at all. Maybe that'll change in the future. We are seeing a pretty strong regulatory shift, especially like the stuff that Robinhood announced, where you can now use crypto to buy private stocks on the secondary market and stuff in Europe. Like, I think people are going to understand crypto better.
It's happening quickly.
But guy, quickly for a normie mom is 3 years. It's 5 years. It ain't happening in 2025. That is a pipe dream. That is a dead on arrival idea. So you've got to pivot the language to map to their understanding.
And I think points is, like you said, the perfect way to position that. And most people recognize cash redeem is something that not many like companies offer that too. And I feel like that's only really, it's not only capable via crypto, but it definitely feels like there's a stronger fit on, okay, how can this become powerful over time? If we do start to get even bigger saturation in the market, we have more attention from the crypto side with people buying the token, the price is going up. And all of a sudden a mom's like, oh, I just paid for this chair, like with points from using this service. That's significant. Nobody else would do that.
Yeah. And we will let people buy points or crypto from our website to increase their discount rates, right? So there are ways to finagle it, but it is a delicate balance. And I think like a big mistake, a lot of, at least from my understanding of like previous companies that have tried to crack the code, is they were shoving crypto parlance and jargon into people's faces, and it clearly didn't work. So why repeat the same mistake?
Right. With the crypto on one side of this business model that you have. The primary one that you have is people come on, they search for these products and they buy them on Dupe's website. Or I believe you also are doing like referrals. So if they click through, you're
Yeah, yeah,
injecting. Um,
yeah.
walk me through the business model that you guys have and how that evolves over like the next 5 years as Dupe continues to grow.
Yeah. So look, as I said, we're a generative marketplace. So users come to Dupe. They tell us what they want to buy. We generate a marketplace for them. We show them a bunch of links that they can click on. And when they click on those links and buy, we make a commission from a lot of those clicks. Not every click, and we don't gate the non-partner links because we still want consumers to have access to the non-partner links. But if they click a partner link and they buy from the partner, then we get paid a commission. We also have products on our site for sale. Like that is a very small catalog that's gonna grow pretty significantly this year. And then we have a trade program, where interior designers and real estate owners and property managers and architects, they reach out to us directly and they buy furniture from us, from our factory relationships directly at like significant discounts, like 60, 70, 80%, like very, very significant. And it's all luxe furniture. It's like very, very high end. And like a trade professionals, like average order value is like 20 times more than a consumer or something like this.
Right.
Right. So yeah, it's like $500 on the consumer side, average orders versus like $20,000. Like it's crazy. Like it's a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane. It's actually insane.
It's actually insane. So that's kind of the barbell is like we have first party sales and we have these affiliate sales. At the end of the day, we don't care where they buy from as long as they're buying with our network's permission, meaning we are telling them where to buy and they go buy and then we earn money. That is the business model.
Are you guys over time expanding that out to like you're tracking users, understanding what their needs are, suggesting products, being like more active on like, hey, we saw you buy all these things. I'm just curious on like the push versus pull side of being a provider of deals.
Yeah. So I think like once we push more heavily into fashion, so about half of our Dupe searches happen in the fashion category now. We don't entirely monetize it yet, but we let people just run those searches. Whatever, like it's a loss leader, it's fine. That sort of like tell us about your style or learning about your style happens better on fashion because fashion is something people buy a lot of, like every month. Because our marketing focuses on furniture and because the primary, the primary flow of capital comes from the furniture niche for us, or the primary flow of revenues come from the furniture niche for us, it's harder to learn something from historical Dupe searches because a lot of those Dupe searches happen at a concentrated time because you're not buying furniture every month. You're buying it within like a 3 or 4 week period. Right. So, but we're like relaunching our whole UI to be more in the times, right? So a little bit more LLM heavy, where we can ask you in real time about the type of aesthetic you're going after. Right now, we fully rely on the user to show us the aesthetic they want, and then we provide them options that are similar. We also have a restyler tool that a lot of people use, where they take photos of their rooms and they can tell us, oh, I want this in Mediterranean, or I want this in colonial, or I want this in like Paris chic or whatever. And then we redesign their room, and then all the products that AI builds out into that room get shown in a shoppable rail that they can then shop. So we do have that. Yeah.
I mean, I wish I'd known about this when I was moving. This would save
me
a lot of time.
It's super cool.
And money.
Cool. For sure.
There's a lot going on the tech side here, which is you guys are doing a lot of scraping. You're doing a lot of LLM. You're doing a lot of image recognition. The team is, I mean, you have some goated devs. I was doing some research. I saw you also tweeted that your one dev won LLM application of the year. Walk me through what the tech process looks like here, and maybe some of like the big heavy lifts that people might not realize go into making Dupe work.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was listening to I didn't listen to the whole podcast, but it was some clip like 3 weeks ago or something of some guy on Twitter saying, "Oh, I could vibe code Dupe." It's like, great, good luck, go try. It's really hard, because it, like how quickly you retrieve the results and how good the results are and how you monetize those results, the user experience, like we obviously like came up with all of this, and we tested a lot of things to arrive at the user experience that we have right now. So a lot of the tech effort goes into finding, like, our internal mantra is like, we need to constantly break the internet, find tech that breaks the internet, find enablement, like consumer enablement that will break the internet. So we're working on things right now. So for example, like one of the things that we just did is like we have an MCP, which is, it will help any other top tier 1 LLM to leverage Dupe's results in their own answers. Like if you go to Perplexity or OpenAI or something, or ChatGPT or whatever right now, and you ask for similar products, they have no context on what that means. Like, what is a similar product? They will find you chairs, like it'll say, like, it'll find you many variations of chairs, but our superpower is we can concentrate the results into the thing that you actually want. And that's fine. Like, those LLMs are not built for that use case, but that is how people shop online. So, that was a technical breakthrough, building that MCP and making it easy for these tier 1 companies to introduce Dupe into their own results. And by the way, all of those links are monetizable, the stuff that they would put into their own answers, so they can actually earn revenue off of it, which we would do like a 50% rev share with them.
I feel like that's I feel like that's a huge point for anybody who's building this space. Totally. And a huge point for you guys being proactive to it, which everybody is going after this holy grail of having exposure at the, AI level of, okay, if somebody else is building on top of this and they're querying, I'm still getting rewarded, or it's going through my rails and I'm getting capital.
Yeah, like 4 out of 10 users are already using these top tier LLMs to do shopping. And what we've noticed is, like, where the top tier LLMs are really good is doing a Wirecutter style list. Like, we've done all the research and, like, here are the best office chairs you can buy. What they're not good at is the next level, which is the obvious thing that people do when they shop, which is, oh, that's a cool product. How can I get that for less? Because, like, most things are expensive, right? So that, like, we want to inject that into their answers, because that's what consumers want. Like 40% of consumers are already doing so. 4 out of 10 people are searching on LLMs. They're doing shopping on LLMs. 43% of those consumers are asking for deals, and they don't have a good way to get those consumers deals. Well, we have deals, but importantly, we have monetizable deals, and it immediately increases the consumer value of people using your LLM, which is typically pretty expensive, because people use it all day, every day. And now we're giving these top tier LLMs like an entirely new revenue stream, and they don't have to do all the work to, like, get all the partnerships and stuff, because that's a lot of work as well. Like, our team focuses on that too.
And you're rev sharing that out back to them?
Yeah, 50%.
That's pretty crazy. I feel like that's from like a standpoint of, for the first time, they don't even need to broker a deal with you.
Nope. Like, literally, they inject the MCP. We can tell. It's like, oh, cool, ChatGPT is using this. Oh, that link was clicked from ChatGPT. Here's the commission we receive. Split 50%. Sam Altman, happy birthday.
You just send it to OpenAI?
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, they don't use. We launched the MCP last week. They don't use
right. No, I'm just curious, like, from a perspective of, like, how that incentivizes them, and how I think that's just fascinating to see. For the first time, you have a company that might not even be fully aware of what's happening on your side of things, but users are using your product and they're getting rewarded for it.
And they're just making money. Yep, exactly. And it's totally free. And that's because we did the hard work. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you can't really vibe code this shit. Like, half of it is relationship building. You got to go, like, you've got to go sign partners, and these partners are they want these sales. By the way, it's really, like, all these partners are trying to figure out, how do I inject my links into AI, because SEO is dead. I mean,
it's fucked.
It's dead. It's dead. So how do you? Okay, great. How do I get into fucking Perplexity's top list? Well, you don't. All you need to do is beat your competitor's price, and you will be injected through Dupe's MCP, and you will get that click and attributable revenue back to the partner that drove that click. And I think that's, again, like, everyone wins. Like, who wouldn't want that? It's obvious.
There's an argument to be made where Dupe is becoming what the future of shopping via AI looks like.
Clip that. Someone please clip that perfectly. Send it to me in my DMs, and let's Let's put some marketing dollars behind it. Hunter Orell. Hunter, perfectly stated.
I'm back today, baby. I'm back. I'm
Let's
on it.
go. No, so that you're right. I mean, look, I keep saying Dupe is the front door for deals on the internet. The question is it a door or is it a portal? Like it's like the game Portal. You just kind of build a portal anywhere. You walk through it, you're walking into deals, right? So for us, the MCP allows our door to now live inside of other people's apps.
I love this. You've sold me more than I was sold already. My question then goes to, all right, 50% on furniture, 50% on, approximating here, on clothing. Are you guys expanding to every product? Is that the grand vision? It's like no matter what it is, if it's golf
Of
balls,
course.
if it's,
Hey, remember, Hunter, the thing that I learned at Carrot was over believing in right, like not niching down, like over believing that everything will just all kind of magically come together. So we zagged away from that very quickly when we launched Dupe, and we said, no, we're going to do it all opposite. It was turning that t-shirt inside out. We're only going to focus on furniture. And believe me, this is a point of contention till today with us internally, with our investors. Like everyone asks this question, like, why are we not doing more on fashion? And I firmly believe that you need to win a vertical, and then you will naturally and organically see people bring Dupe into other part of their shopping journeys. And that's how we've gotten to half of our Dupe searches being fashion. It's not because we talk about it. It's because someone used it for furniture and they're like, I wonder, can I use this for this, like, whatever, the skirt or the shoe that's too expensive? And it works.
It works. It works. That's, man, all right. I think that's a good point. Because in my head, I think as an overeager founder, sometimes I'm like, okay, just do it for everything. But you're spreading yourself too thin again. And I can see with the demo that you have, which again is moms and girlfriends, where that can expand into. If the eyes are already there, they're already familiar with the product, and you're crushing it on short form content. Is short form your main marketing strategy right now?
By far. We've started investing in podcasts, and we'll probably double or triple that investment this year. But I would love to. I think Dupe is like inherently viral and extremely relatable and extremely valuable. It is all three of those things, and I think that makes for a great Super Bowl ad. So I would love to be able to like just spend $4 or $5 million on a Super Bowl ad next year, depending on how Q4 goes. That's not out of the question. It's not out of the question. So we'll see. It would be pretty epic if we could do that.
Let's say somebody writes you the check today. They're watching this, right? You know what? I like this guy. Well, what does the commercial look like in your head right now?
You don't even have to oversell it. You just show how the product works. It has worked for us in short form. It will work on TV. You probably need a comedy shift to it to keep people's attention. But like, if it works on short form, it will work. It will work on an ad. Actually, a lot of what I've actually noticed is when I do watch TV, sometimes an ad pops up. I very rarely watch cable. But sometimes these ads are literally the vertical ad with just a logo on the side. They're just taking it from YouTube or Instagram and just putting it on a TV ad. Remember, these are all the same eyeballs. It's the same person. If it works visually in one place, like if I crush on TikTok with a video, the likelihood that it crushes on Instagram, very high. YouTube, very high. TV, very high. So yeah, like I would literally just show people how to get them to the aha moment, that magical moment, very quickly, and say the word Dupe 3 times, because that's the other thing that I learned. It's like you've got to keep using your brand name in the commercial.
You got to hammer it home.
And I have some like really interesting ways of doing it too. Like I'm like, oh, like, I say Dupe up front, then it's like type dupe.com into the URL, and at the very end it's like, so don't forget to use Dupe for the da 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 da, right? So and it works.
Are you like, one thing I've seen over the last few guests we've had on is a founder led brand. It's you guys, and I might have overlooked this, but it does seem like you're relying more on, okay, this is Duped, and then external influencer and rewards to like people to create this short content. How do you see like the balance of that, and where do you think you're positioning yourself as a founder being forward facing?
Yeah, so all the marketing was like 100% me up front.
Right.
I unlocked multiple formats. Then I brought one creator on to help to see if I can get her to replicate things. and now we have something like 20 or so creators working with us, and I do very little of the content. But I might have to restart because I think like what I've realized is a founder can take more risks. Like no one wants to get fired, right? And so it's like I want us to be more risky. That's what got us here in the first place. You know, it got us in a lot of hot water with some really big brands, and I just like didn't care.
Right.
It was worth the attention.
I think that's also been a recurring theme of more risk, take bigger swings. Don't worry if things like
you got it. Or you're just milk toast as shit, man. You're like vanilla as F. Like no one cares about lukewarm milk. You've got to pick a side. Are you hot milk or are you cold milk? We chose hot milk. We're spicy. We have fun. I shit post in the comments.
I mean, you're like a relatable guy. Like I see him like I would have a beer with Bobby.
Totally.
Like,
I would just have I would have a scotch, but
yeah,
you want beer? Like if you're what are you, like a Corona guy? Like what are we talking here? Like you seem like a Dos Equis guy. Are you Dos Equis?
Modelo.
I knew it was a Mexican beer.
Yeah.
I knew it was a Mexican beer.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is about me. Everybody seems to think I like Corona or Modelo. It's true.
You know what it is? It's your hair. You look like a surfer. Like you've got a surfer vibe.
I will be going surfing tomorrow. That is the plan.
There we go. See?
Fuck. I'm too predictable.
By the way, I lived in San Diego for like almost a decade, so I know a surfer guy when I see one.
Fair enough. I'm on the East Coast now. I'm out of LA, but no, I'm still have that energy in me. I'd love to chat back to look. You guys have had an incredible run with the token. For anybody who's listening and maybe they're not a girl, they're not shopping the move right now, but they're like, hey, I really like this. What's the pitch to, hey, just go pick up some token, like if we want exposure here and want to get some skin in the game?
There's only one right answer. I will never tell someone to buy our token. Simple. This is the only correct legal answer. Any other answer will get you in hot water. Don't buy the token. Or actually do your own freaking research.
Do your own. Okay. That should be noted by anybody who's not following that legal advice.
I do not shill Dupe's token. I will not shill Dupe's token. It's come this far without me shilling it even once. I will do cool things around it. Like I have Brooke Facile, who's a rapper who drops like every week. He drops a rap track today. I think he's going to drop one. I will do cool shit like that. But I will not tell people straight up like, yo, you should go buy some Dupe. That is your choice. You are a person of agency. You should be intelligent. You should do your own research. Lean into the Dupe community. Everyone has a take on Dupe, whether it's good or bad. There's a take on Dupe. Go read it. Make your own choice.
Are you watching the market cap of Dupe? Is that become like a KPI internally?
A KPI? Definitely not. No, absolutely not. Like, I mean, it's almost like an anti KPI, just because like I know what our growth metrics are, what our revenue metrics are. So when I see the price, like right now, sitting where it's sitting, I'm like, okay, cool. like our business is crushing. We're good.
Right.
Don't worry about it. When we dropped down like 90% when we first came out, I think it got up to 6Ms and then dropped to like 500K or 400K or something. And everyone was calling me a scammer because of it. I was like, okay, all right, dude, like I don't control any of this shit. So great. I'll buy some token, like not me, but the company will.
Right.
And so cool. We bought a bunch of tokens there, and when it dropped from 80 million to 6.5 million like 4 weeks ago, cool. It didn't do like my business didn't drop 90%. I think it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is.
Business is booming. I mean, by all accounts, it sounds like it is.
People need deals more than ever. People need deals, and so it's just not something I spend a whole lot of time fussing over. What I do spend time fussing over is hygiene around the token, right? So us launching our own liquidity pool so that we can give people an opportunity to trade in what I think is a more fair price. Like that is a reasonable thing to do, but I didn't do it and say, now you can go trade more. I will never do that. I won't do that now. And so, yeah, and I have never done it. So there we go.
What, and I guess back onto the KPI, like what is your core set of like internal KPIs that you guys
Yep.
are targeting right now?
Daily user growth, daily revenue per user, and churn. Or actually retention. Churn's a little harder for us to tell what it is because we don't force people to have an account, but retention into
Oh,
signing up.
you don't make anybody sign up. I thought that was just like, hey, I can do it for the first like couple searches when I was playing with it, but you don't. Nobody has an account.
Yeah, but even that is like, it's kind of session based. Like if you come back 20 days later and you do it, we clear out the cookies and the sessions changes to a brand new one and we let you search again. Yeah, we see Dupe as more of like it is a public utility. We want everyone to save money, and we make money when they save money, regardless of whether or not we know who they are. So if you want to stay anonymous, cool, we let you do that. If you sign up, you get more results and you get Dupe points. So we are giving you reasons to sign up. But yeah, like that's we don't force people to. A lot of people just prefer it that way. They just want to come to Dupe to try out a URL, and they'll come back in 3 days and try another URL, and like that's how they use it, and that's totally fine.
I like that mentality of not being as extractive as you can for users that are looking to use the product. I think that ultimately your goal is just growth, as many people as possible, and then figure it out from there.
That's it. Like if we remove friction, so time to value, I would say for every founder out there, you should consider what is the time to value in your product. If you launch a product with like a long onboarding, make sure the payoff is significant. If it's not, you're going to kill the vibe of your product. So for us, like we wanted our time to product to be near zero. And that's the decision we made from day one. And we will continue to keep that decision until it doesn't make sense anymore. And it continues to make sense.
Man, there's a lot going on here, a lot more going on here than I think meets the eye, and the complexity of this. Some people,
as is the case for every company.
But I talked to some people and they're like, but like, I can just search like a Google on product or a product on Google and I get, similar things. And,
Do it.
But there's like an extent of why do like, I don't get reward for going to Google. If anything, Google's stealing my information and using it to, run ads against me.
Well, and our results are also better. They're more tailored to be Dupe focused. We don't have scam sites. Google's got a lot of those. Especially when you use Google Images, like a lot of them are just not real websites, just built literally for extracting user data. And we ban a lot of those sites from our results. We're verticalized, so we can do more things that Google can't. But if you want to use Google, use Google. But try Dupe once.
I mean, I think everybody should. And if you have a girlfriend or a wife, you could make them very happy by showing them Dupe and saving money. I think you both be happy. One area that I'm very curious about is, I think some retailers probably fear you to an extent. No
name shall be named. Name shall be named.
Shit! I was about to name. Okay,
don't do it. Don't. It's fine, but don't do it. Well, who do you think? Who do you think?
Oh, I'm scared. Okay, I look at the world of drop shipping and I go, okay, the college kid who's like, I'm gonna spin up this product and price at $200 for air, I think air purifiers. I saw a video on this from Blindness Tech Tips like a week or two ago, and I was like, oh my god, like there's 10 of the same product coming out of the same factory in China, all different names, all different branding.
Totally.
And there's one that's they range from as high as like $500 down to $60, and the difference is the brand. Like there's no difference. I think about Alibaba, I think about Wayfair, I think about all these companies that essentially have gotten to the point of, yes, we know we have all these relationships with factories, and there are deals out there where we'll just white label your product. And those companies that are playing part of that racket are probably like, fuck, like this is going to hurt business.
Alibaba and Wayfair are great partners of ours. So
yeah, like, I'm not. Yeah.
Let's push them to the sky. We love them. We drive a lot of revenue for them. It's great.
Yes.
Shit's good.
To be fair,
by the way, consumers love them.
I'm a user.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the ones in the middle of the bell curve, not the ends, not the really expensive haute couture furniture versus the really like bargain. It's the shit in the middle that pretends to be something they're not. they are all very concerned about dupe existing. And the right answer, of course, partner with dupe. Let us drive some clicks to you so you can make money. That is always the right answer.
I think there's a lot of partners that you guys are going to have come running to you. I think it's, people want eyeballs on their products. And I think companies are waking up to, I shouldn't be reliant on just Google anymore. I can't be.
Yes.
I talked to Reed. Me and Reed had a long 2-hour walk through New York last week, going through the discoverability of
like Reed Hastings. Like, who are we talking
oh,
about?
I'm sorry, from Fitted Closet.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Which Reed are we talking about here? There's a lot of Reeds. You dropped Reed's name like you know.
You're like, oh, he's the goat. No, he is the goat. He is the goat. I mean, there is only one Reed. Apologies if your name is Reed and you just found that out. No, but like we were talking about, like, companies either stop thinking that they just throw it on their site and it's going to get indexed and picked up. You got to be proactive. You got to go to these companies that are thinking AI first. How do I get this product in front of people's eyes when they're using a terminal, when they're going to another site that's using an LLM? That is the future. You have to be thinking like that as a brand today.
I totally strongly agree. I mean, just set it and forget it obviously doesn't work in marketing. A lot of these sites have millions of products. As I said before, you can't just have that many products sitting in inventory, and not even inventory, just like sitting merchandise on your website and expect that people will just magically find it. You have to partner with companies that have some X factor in the shopping journey where people trust them for that thing. Right. So for Reed, it might be something like, I trust Reed to tell me what I might want to buy next. Now, if Reed is smarter, and he is pretty smart because I met him, I like the guy, he should take Dupe's MCP and put it into his product, because the next question that people are going to ask is, ooh, thank you, Fitted, for giving me this really cool, shirt that I can buy. Let me take it to Dupe and see if I can get it for less. And there we go. We just took all of his revenue. So
I'd love to spend $1,300 on this Balenciaga shirt, but let's see if there's a similar one.
Right, exactly. So, but that's the thing, is like, if your shopping app has to have a superpower. You need to know what you're about. You need to know why people trust you.
Right.
And just going back to that first question about Carrot, like we were really bad at anticipating what the thing is that people trusted us for. We thought at some point it would be collecting their carts and organizing it. Sometimes, it was at some point it was collections. And it was none of those things, right? It was actually Deal Hop. It was the thing that, like, no, I get to find these products for less. Cool. Like, I can actually use this product for myself now. So for Fitted, it's, he's not wrong. He's 100% right. These brands just can't have all of this inventory sitting around and expect that people will buy it. It needs to be merchandised to people in the right format at the right time with the right price. You need all of these things. Any brand that fairly prices their product should not be concerned about dupe. Any brand that inflates prices has 400%, margin, not 400% margins, but like they mark up their product 400%. And they have like 80%, margins on it or whatever. You should be very scared of dupe, because we know that 75% of those products are all made in the same factories. We know this, and we're coming for you. And your margin is my opportunity, in the famous words of Jeff Bezos. So we are coming for you, and consumers are getting smarter and smarter every single day because of the type of marketing that we do and many other people do on our behalf. So you're 100% right that this is a point of consideration now for a lot of these brands. It used to be that brand recall was like everything, right? Like, all of my marketing dollars goes to these TV ads, and now because I'm in the consumer's mind, blah blah blah. But it's okay. Well, what do you do when 6 out of 10 people are using LLMs to shop? Now what? Your brand recall means shit. It doesn't mean anything.
Time's up.
Time's up.
Dupe's here.
Time's up. Rage against the dying of the light. Come to Dupe. Dupe is your new light. All right. That is my message. Someone please clip that. That was pretty badass.
I fucking love it, Bobby. I love it. Bro, just put this guy in front of a camera and let him talk.
This is what I have on TikTok and Instagram. This is what I'm saying.
The future for Dupe looks very bright. Very bright. You guys have a new website design coming out. I do want to highlight, because I think we have listeners here who might know people. You're currently hiring for a founding designer
Yes.
at Dupe. I one love that, exciting. Very very generous compensation package. I was very interested to see in the compensation package though. Um, Obviously there's some equity and there's salary, but token. And I this is the first time I've ever read a I mean, even for crypto, I don't think I've ever seen a company in the actual call to action in a hiring posting be like, hey, you get token.
Yeah.
And quite some time, maybe early in like the NFT world where people are dropping tokens, but walk me through what you're looking for. How can we help find a founding designer at Dupe?
Yeah. So first of all, finding a founding designer at Dupe, it needs to have a founder mentality, sort of a breaking a lot of things, trying a lot of things, being deeply curious, obviously having all of the design chops, having great design sense. That's that's just table stakes, all right? But that is not what gets the job. What gets the job is if it feels like a calling and you're just like, something about this product can be so much better, so much bigger. I have so many ideas. I don't know if they're all right, but I want to try some of this stuff, right? And having that feeling, that sense of agency. Like when I hire people, I tell them, like, do not ask me for permission, please. We will be too slow. Like, I need you to make decisions. I am giving you a credit card. You need to go buy things if you need to go buy things. You need to hire people if you need to hire people. Please just make choices, make decisions, and then we can review it as they're being made, but don't wait for me to tell you what to do. So this design person needs to have a lot of that in their DNA. The second choice we made is like we want it to be in New York. We want it to be in person. I kind of think like remote's time is up for small teams. I think
It's cooked. It's cooked.
it's cooked. I think it's time to and look, it doesn't have to be. It could be hybrid, right? As long as you're in the office a few days a week, like just having that magical like in-person energy. There's nothing that, and you could sense. I'm a person of immense energy. Like I have a lot of energy. Like, and I give that off in person with my teams in a very positive way because I see my job as twofold: a clarifier and an energizer. I need to do both of those things. I can't do energizer through Zoom. It is too freaking hard. So that's the other choice that we made. And yeah, like we want this designer, like I believe in design-led companies being the future. Like we want this designer to be a potential CEO of their own company. Like I want to hire people who I'm scared to lose because they're so good that they're gonna start their own company. That's what I want, right? Because that's who I am. And if
Right.
someone hired me, that's what they would get, right? The constant risk of like, this guy has so much ability. Why will he stay here? And then, like feeling the need that the problems I'm being given are so meaningful, so big, so hairy that like that's what's keeping my interest. That's what's keeping me grounded in the company. I want to give that to someone as a gift. I want this to be their breakout role. I want them to be known for the work that they're doing at Dupe. So these are like the things that I care about. S tier, total S tier. And we pay people. We will pay if someone helps us find like an S tier design founder type, we will pay them $15,000. And if it's like an insane S tier, if it's like whatever, like triple S tier or something like this, like we'll go way higher than that. Because I actually believe like talent exists on a log scale. I don't think people are right. It's not you're not 10% better. You are 100-fold better. And that deserves to be comped in that way. Then to go to your questions on Dupe tokens, yeah, like we're trying something different, right? Like we want our investors and employees to have exposure to the Dupe token. And a prorated amount based on their allocation in our current company's cap table into the ownership of our ownership of the Dupe token. We should prorate that, and everyone should have a chance to play in that market. And otherwise, the token is just like a meaningless like thing that's on the side, kind of happening to the market. So yeah, that's a choice that we made. We'll see if that gets people excited. It's interesting that you caught on to that.
I mean, I saw the posting and I could not believe that you didn't have like 1,000 comments under that posting. I know one of Alliance Style's founders was posting about it, and I was just like, wow, this is if I was a designer, and if you're a designer listening, you need and you're good, like really fucking good, I would drop everything and be in this man's DMs, hitting him up and being like,
yeah, my email, bobby@dupe.com. Get into my DMs if you want. I will see it. I will react to it. I think it's a badass role, man. If I was like
if I was a designer, I would do it.
Yeah, dude. Especially if I was young and I had some experience under my belt, but clearly I had my slope was very high and my ability was very evident. Like, apply for this role and at least talk to me, because you might be surprised what's on the other end of it.
You never know. As I said, I think the future for what you're building is very bright. I think the expansion over time for the addressable market is, I mean, your investors must be like slamming on the desk, like, oh yeah, like there's real crazy growth potential here. And I feel like you guys you've just scratched the surface of what Dupe can be.
Yeah, I think the investors are making a big bet that we can take a fight to Amazon.
Yeah.
Right. That we can disintermediate their supply chain, that we can eat into this fact that most of the stuff sold at Amazon is marked up from the factory and it's all coming from the same place. Like you said about the air purifier, like there are a lot of, Amazon's got a lot going for it, obviously, but there are some Achilles heels, and you kind of need a crazy founder type to go after it. And you need a badass domain, and you need a great mousetrap. And I think we've got all of those things.
Clip it.
Clip it. Clip it. Clip it. Come on, clip
Bobby.
Guy. Where are all the clip daddies out there? I need a clipper on staff, dude.
I'm hiring clippers right now. We're gonna get this clipped up. We're gonna get it out there. Bobby from Dupe. Oh my god, putting on a master class. I'm all jazzed up right now. You got me fired up, man.
Dude, your hair is like standing. I see your arm, like the hair on your arm standing. Are you okay?
Oh, shit. Yeah. I'm
just kidding. I
love it, man. Bobby,
this was great energy, great interview. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course.
And to all the listeners, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it.
Amazing. Bobby, we'll stay in touch with you. We'll keep an eye as you grow over time. And again, thank you for coming on and chatting with everybody. We'll stay in touch.